Our own little national treasure, Spencer Oliver, has just crept under the door and has joined us for the final hour today, because we are about to embark on another hour of boxing chat, of course, before we go at 1 o'clock. Spence, how are you, mate?
Jim, very well. Rewind, that crept under the door, did you say?
Well, you're one of the few people.
I thought I walked straight through it, no?
Oh, yes. Yes,
crept
indeed.
under the door in Cuban heels and a top hat.
And then the cat crept in and crept out again. I think that was mud several years ago. Spencer, good to have you on board, mate. Mr. Jordan, not for the first time in his journalistic career, has done
award-winning, best-selling author.
Has done a U-turn and is now referring to your friend and mine, AJ Anthony Joshua, after seeing off MMA fighter Francis Ngannou. He's calling AJ a national treasure. He's back to national treasure status. He said that in his hugely watched column in the Mail.
Yeah, I heard this, and I sort of wanted to elaborate a little bit more on this, Simon, because this massive U-turn, this massive turnaround from you.
Not a U-turn.
And a guy that I've been backing the whole time, by the way. And a guy that I've been backing the whole time, when the chips were down with AJ, the ups and the lows, I said, this kid will come back, and he's done it. And I'm so glad that you've actually waved the white flag and done a massive U-turn.
This is going to be a difficult fight. He's got a granite chin. Ultimately, he's never been knocked down. All that rubbish, right? And all of you sat there with your thumbs up the backside on the weekend going, oh, look at that. The reality has dawned upon us.
Come on, let's be honest.
What I did was
I've always said,
come on now, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua should be celebrated for doing a job to reignite the heavyweight division, get rid of this ridiculous argument about MMA crossovers, and he did it.
Yeah, so but for the sake of boxing,
yes,
he had to win it.
That's my point.
So to a large extent, he saved your sport, Spence.
Again, he saved our sport. Not for the first time. And I mean, look, Simon, I've always said Anthony Joshua will go down in the history books. He will become a 3-time world heavyweight champion. That looks very likely now.
You make me die.
In the landscape of heavyweight boxing, that looks very likely now.
You've always said that.
I have always said that. Stood by that.
Right.
And you look at where Anthony Joshua is placed in the heavyweights right now.
He has a massive opportunity.
But also you would put him in against any of them right now on that performance with that newfound confidence.
Shut up, Spencer.
He
fought an MMA fighter.
Come on, Simon. Be honest.
He did to an MMA fighter what someone else should have done to
that
them.
MMA fighter done to Tyson Fury. What about that? What he done to Tyson Fury?
Because I think it was a ridiculous performance from Tyson Fury.
Oh, you can't just say that.
And you have accepted the principle that Tyson Fury will bear no resemblance. You've said this to the fighter that fought Ngannou against Usyk.
Absolutely.
Now Anthony Joshua will likely win a third world title because he's likely to fight Filip Hrgovic, who I pick him to beat. So he will get the ultimate outcomes as a result of it. And he did his job that others should have done, which is regain the credibility and composure of the conversation by winning against Ngannou and doing it in a convincing fashion.
That's it. Regain the credibility of the sport of boxing and of himself.
I think
and that
you're
is
right,
important.
Spencer. I think boxing's reputation was firmly on the line.
Absolutely.
He absolutely had to win it. And win it in a devastatingly impressive fashion, which he did.
He went out there and that was an unbelievable performance. You can't say that wasn't an unbelievable.
I'm the one that wrote the bloody thing, so why should I be denying it? The point is,
no, we're not referring to that.
Spencer
knows what he's talking about. He used to fight in the
ring.
So
let's stop the rubbish. You're an Anthony Joshua fan.
You had to fight once in the playground.
I'm an admirer of people that do things well. I'm neither a fan, an acolyte like yourself. I am just an honest, impartial observer.
You cannot say you're not an Anthony Joshua fan. You're a boxing fan. You have to be.
I think he should be praised for his achievements on the weekend.
Inspiration in and outside of the ring.
I think he should be praised. But what happens with you guys is you run with the hare and you hump with the hounds. Last week it was how good Ngannou was going to be and how robust he is. And now all of a sudden we're back to where we should have been in the first place.
Yeah, having said that,
come on, Jim, weigh in.
What I would ask you is this, Spencer, in all honesty, how much realistically has his stock risen as a result of getting the win, but it was against Ngannou?
Massively. Because you go in massively risen, because it's all about Anthony Joshua and having that confidence in his own ability and delivering what he does. Because if you look at that, Anthony Joshua's always had the technical ability, the physicalities. He's always had that, but he's not had the confidence in his own belief to deliver that and to execute that. And I think what we found now is that he now believes in himself. The team up with Ben Davison has been a great one, and he showed that. He went out there and he done to an MMA fighter what a boxer should do.
Correct.
He went out there and he systematically destroyed him, iced him.
So let's characterise it that way. And if his stock has increased, because he certainly has in terms of regaining the credibility, then the feeble-minded are the ones that his stock has risen in, because he should beat Ngannou. He's had 4 fights over the last year. We still have the question to be answered. When he gets one on the whiskers, will we see Anthony dig deep? The argument is that he will. And the argument was over the last 12 months, which lots of people said, lots of fighting people said, Carl Froch, Barry McGuigan, a variety of people that have no skin in the game besides people's belief that Carl gets irritated about the Rob McCracken situation, that Anthony Joshua's light had gone out. Now, the 4 fights that he has fought in, none of them stuck it on him. We'll see. I think he'll win a world title.
Largely to do with him and how he goes about the job in hand more than anything else.
To some extent, but Helenius didn't come to fight. Neither did Jermaine Franklin.
But Simon,
Wallin was negated, and Ngannou was an MMA fighter.
Yeah, but
let's characterise it properly.
AJ never allowed them to do that. That was the point.
And that's the other side of the argument.
That's the point.
And that's a fair observation
too. He basically took their attributes away, and that's what a great fighter does. So that's what he done. So when you're saying, but Wallin's not got...
A great fighter does that to other great fighters.
Look what Otto Wallin done with Tyson Fury
2 years ago, and everyone makes the argument. Everyone makes the argument. That's his bones, right? He made his bones on the back of a loss against Fury. I want to see.
But I'm saying
Anthony
it was a credible performance. What did Joshua win in there and absolutely smash him to pieces?
Indeed,
he's right about that.
Indeed, but what we want to see to complete the circle. He's right about it. Complete the circle is when Anthony Joshua goes in against the elite heavyweights, which is going to be potentially the argument about Hrgović and potentially Usyk or Fury again. We will see if the circle is completed. I hope it is, because I think what he did on the weekend regained credibility for himself and the sport. But I'm not going to run off down the road waving a banner telling everybody that ultimately everything is right in the garden. I've said he's a national treasure because I think it's a fair observation given what Fury put out. Fury made it a farce.
Yeah.
Fury made it a farce.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, you have to ask where does it leave a boxer fighting someone from MMA? We put that to Dan Hardy, who of course has MMA credentials.
With the direction that combat sports are going, I always think there's going to be intrigue around these types of fights. I mean, especially at heavyweight. We've got a guy now called Renan Fajeda, who's 6'8", and straight away, as soon as he won his last fight, John Jones, who I'm sure you guys will be aware of, said that he would be able to beat Francis Ngannou. So Ngannou's coming back into MMA to fight another really, really tough individual that could potentially be problematic in the boxing world as well. I don't mind it personally. I like these crossovers. I think they're a bit of fun. And I think prize fighters, if the money's on the table and the intrigue's there, then go and get it.
Yeah. Dan Hardy says he likes these crossover fights, and there's still a bit of fun. We don't normally do this in the boxing hour, but I'm going to do it today. You can see the response we get when we talk football. I'm quite confident the response will be the same talking boxing. What do you think? Crossover fights, is that it? Are you done with them now? We saw how Ngannou hit the canvas big time when AJ connected with him. Have we had enough of these crossover fights? Is that it? Should be put them in the back burner now for good? And on AJ, has he changed your mind for you? Should he now be regarded as a national treasure, or do you still doubt that he could do it? Say if he gets in the ring with Tyson Fury, would it be Fury for you and not AJ? Where do you stand in all of that?